Hi everyone. We'll wait for 2 more minutes and then we can start our session. Hi everyone. We can start our session. I hope everybody joined the session. And if anybody yet to start the Power Automate assignments, please do start it because if you have any questions in the next session itself, if you ask, you'll get a more time to practice yourself. So please do start the assignments on the Power Automate. And so the last week we are done with the Power Automate all the topics except the licenses. So whenever Harish is taking the sessions, he'll be covering that topics. So that is not technical, so you don't have to worry. You can still complete the assignments. Okay. So now from today we'll be starting on the JavaScript topic in the D365 CRM. So before moving to the JavaScript, um, is the business rules session is completed? If anybody can confirm, I can go ahead.
Yeah, Jyoti, business rules is done.
Okay, so okay, what has been practiced there? Business rules. What demo sessions are happen?
So, so he given some of the ideas what we have done, how it works, this kind of things.
Okay, I mean, why exactly we use business rules?
So for the update perspective and if you want to delete kind of things, so for the sake we can use business rules.
Delete also?
Update parallel.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll just sorry, I'll just explain one more time because that is related to this JavaScript. Okay, so here in the Dynamics 365, we have two ways to make the changes on the form. First one is business rules. Whenever we have a simple tasks, for example, whenever you want to update some field value, default value, or if you want to just to show hide some field value based on other field value, okay, or if you want to just set some required field values. So in such simple scenarios, we can go with the business rule. Okay, and so why so if we have the business rule, then why we are going for the JavaScript? Because what business rule is doing on the form side only, form customization only. Then why we are going for the JavaScript, right? So as I already mentioned, so this business rule is only for the simple task. Okay, I don't know what task you guys have tried. Okay, but compared to the JavaScript, the business rule is for the simple task only. For example, here what is a complex task means then. Okay, for example, on a case form, we will be having a customer lookup field, right? For example, while checking some field value on form, for example, if the location is this, then check the customer's actual location. Like on the case form, we have one location field, and on the customer record also. So the customer lookup means that is also having another entity, right? Contact entity. There also another location is there. So we have to validate, compare those two locations. At that time, what we are doing, we are retrieving the related entities data. Okay, we have to, but that is not possible through business rules because it's all about just checking the condition and setting some field values or the default value or make it as required or not required or business recommended. So such type of options are available with business rule, but it will not be able to fetch the data from the other entities. Okay, such type of complex scenarios will not be possible with the business rule. And also, whenever we are doing any changes with the business rule, I don't know whether you have experienced or observed that scenario or not. We do have to just.
నైట్ అంతా మేల్కొని ఉంటావు చెప్పు.
Ashok, can you mute yourself?
ప్రతి ఒక్కరు ఏదో ఒక రోజు పోవాల్సిందే డాడీ, కానీ నీ ఫ్రెండ్ కొంచెం తొందరగా పోయినాడు. దానికోసం నువ్వు రాత్రి అంతా మేల్కొని పగలు పడుకోవాలి. అలాగే
Ashok, can you mute yourself?
వచ్చింది పడుకుంటే నాకు వస్తుంది. హాస్పిటల్ కన్నా పోదాం, సెట్ వేసుకో డాడీ. ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ మీ సార్, చెప్పండి ఏమైంది.
Ashok? Okay, fine. Okay. Sorry, where are we?
Business rules.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so whenever we have a complex scenarios like fetching the related entities data, so while checking the business rule related changes on the form, we have to refresh the form once. Then only the changes will occur. But when it comes to the JavaScript, we can right away the interactions will happen. For example, I'm making changes to one field, and if any JavaScript code is tagged to that field, then the changes right away will appear on the screen. For example, I'm change whenever I change the customer on the case, then the other fields should get populated based on whatever the value I'm selecting in the lookup field. So everything will be instant. Okay, so that way customers experience will also on the UI level will increase. So that is also the one of the other reason. And also there is another one is reusability. Meaning, for example, I have created one function and that can be used across, I mean, wherever I want, I can use that function. If it is like the generalized one, then I can use over the different entities. Okay, but when it comes to the business rule, for each entity, we have to create the business rule. Okay, it's not like I have created one business rule, so if it is applicable, I can use it in another entity also. That is not possible. But with JavaScript, we can use the JavaScript functions across the entities. Okay, and and also I think while explaining the business rule, they might have discussed about the limitations as well. Meaning, like here we can show and hide fields only. Okay, in the business rule. Okay, we can't show or hide the tabs, right? But JavaScript, we can do that as well. Okay, simply so whenever you have any requirement, if it is just show and hide and set visible or just making some fields requirement or that kind of simple, then you can go with the simply go with the business rule. Otherwise, you can go with the JavaScript. Okay, um, let me share my screen. There's so much of theory. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so first I'll be creating new entity because every day we are just using that course and whatever entity, but which doesn't have a proper fields or anything. So what I'll do, I'll create a new entity, new fields and forms, and how we'll be adding that to the app and everything, so that if you see every day, maybe you'll get to know like the how we are doing everything. So maybe if you are not practicing also, this will help. Okay, I'll just use my solution and then we'll create one entity, so that on that entity I'll just explain this JS. Okay, new entity. Maybe I'll go with this for now.
I think we are. This is the first time we are seeing like creating the table using Copilot. Like, Harish taught us using the advanced properties.
Okay. From blank also we can create. We don't know which fields it will create with Copilot. It's like trial and error for now. So what you can do with Copilot, you can describe which type of entity and what could be the data that you're going to store in this entity. So here I have just provided just to create a customer registration entity, but instead of just that one line, if you can add what data you're going to store in that entity, such type of things, it will just create for you the data types, I mean fields with the data types also. Okay, but if it is not providing in a correct way, then in that case we can go with the blank, because we have our data, like whatever the data we want to store, the field names and the data types might be different. So in that case I can go with the normal one, but this is a new one which will just, I don't have to create so many fields for now, right? So I'll just go with this one. You can try explore, nothing will happen by exploring, right? try with Copilot as well. So here it's saying create relationship, but I'll just go with these fields. So these are enough for me right now. Mm, okay, another table. Okay. Customer registration, and these are all the columns that got added. Customer name, customer registration, email, is verified, owner, owning team, phone number. So all this, and with the data types, it only created. Okay, I don't have to create anything. And the form. Mhm. Nothing, it created only columns it created. Just give me a second. Eh, Hmm. Okay, so whenever you create a new entity, these three forms are the system form, so that will get created. Okay, main form, card form, and quick queue form. Okay, this is the form where our data will be stored. Okay, as a fields. In a fields, we'll be storing our data on a main form. These are all the field values that are present on this one, so I'm not adding any extra. So this I'm going to use on my LUIT dev app. So before that, what I'll do, I want to include this customer registration entity on my app, then only on UI level. Meaning, so here if I just select here, no, student course and contacts, how it is came here in the sitemap, I'll have to add entity in the sitemap, then only I'll be able to see. For example, I want to create a new customer registration record. Then what happens? First, I'll have to add my entity on the sitemap, then only I can see here, and then using that, I can create the record. Okay, you already know this, but I'm just explaining again. What I'll do first, whatever the changes I do, I want to track them. So for that scenario, I'm just adding whatever the component I want to change, I'm adding them in the solution. Okay, it's always the best practice to add your components inside a solution so that you know what changes you have made. So if you don't want, you can just revert them again. Okay, so here I'm going to add my model driven app, that is LUIT. Okay, under the apps, you can see LUIT app, and you can just open it. So this is a new UI which I'm not really used to it. So I'm just switching to the classic. So that is a new version. It came actually. I have not tried that much in that, but it's always best to just go with the new AI only, because we don't know when they'll be deprecating this window. So it's always better to use the new version only instead of this classic app designer. Okay, I'll also try looking into it, but you're starting as a beginner, like for the first time you're starting, right? So it's always best to go with the new ones only. Okay, so here what I'm going to add, the sitemap I'm going to change. Uh, that is fine. If you are seeing that error, that is fine. Don't worry about it. And here what I'll do, So you already know, right? I think I only explained how to add contacts inside the sitemap, like groups and subgroups, sub areas, how we'll be adding, right? So here I'll just add another area. Whatever the entities I'll be creating as part of this JavaScript sessions, right? I'll be adding them inside this area. Okay, so I'll name it as customer registration only. Okay, now inside this, I'll add group, and this group advanced. Okay, and inside it I'm going to add my sub area, which means whatever the entity I want to add. So here the type is entity because I want to add entity only, and then entity name is customer registration. Okay, this is enough, and I'm saving it, publish it. Okay, save, validate. Only warnings, so we can just look into them. So if you are able to make some changes, that is fine. Otherwise you can ignore the warnings for now and you can publish it. Maybe sometimes it will not reflect right away the changes, so you don't have to worry. So just come back here and save, validate and publish again, and it will work. Okay, here you can see this is the area one which is already present, and I have created one more, that is customer registration. Okay, and inside it, this is the group that I have created, registration, and inside the group I have added the sub area, that is customer registration entity. Okay, by default Microsoft has provided me with 5 records which I can use, otherwise I can create a new records. Okay, now I'll just open any one existing for now. First I'll be showing the business rules so that you'll have an idea what are all the options we have in the business rule, and what else we can do with the JavaScript, so that way you'll able to relate it. Just give me a second, I'll just want to hide this one but not able to do it. I'm saying, okay, I'm not able to do it, that is fine. Okay, so did anybody know how to just close the on top while sharing our screen? We'll get one control panel, right? Do you know how to just hide it? Huh, I was able to do it. Thank you. Okay, so first we'll be checking the business rules, and then I'll go to the JavaScript so that you'll get an idea. Okay, I'm not trying to waste your time, just to I mean, I'm just going to explain so that you able to relate why we are going with the JavaScript instead of the business rule when it is so easy. Okay, I'm going with the advanced settings, customizations, customize the system. and whatever the entity I want to work on, I'll select that one. And I already mentioned the business rules will get created at the entity level. So whatever the business rules that are being applicable, or if you want to check what are all the business that are present on the entity, you can just open the entity. You don't have to check anywhere else. Just open the entity and see in the business rules tab, you can check what are all the business rules that are being applied on that entity. Okay. Here is the customer registrations and forms. Oh, this is relationship. Sorry. Customer registrations and forms, and which form we are trying to work on, the main form. So I'll be opening the main form here, and here you can see the option business rules, right? I don't know who took your session for the customizations, but when we are trying to make some changes or to develop some things on the form level, so this is the what we say, form editor that we have to make changes so that it will reflect on the UI level. Okay, so here as I mentioned, the business rules you can check from here. For every entity you will check this way only. Okay, select the business rule, and if any business rule is available, it will come here. Okay, so I'm going to create one for now so that I'll just show all the options that are available here quickly. Okay, you can see all the values. Add set visible recommendation, first thing, lock or unlock based on some condition. As you know, like I can add the condition, and here I can check for the I mean some field values, like if the customer field contains data, then lock this field or unlock this field, which means the customers will not be able to provide or add the data into that field. Okay, quickly I'll just create one, and entity only, and field is email. I'll use contents data. Okay, if email contains data, then add lock or unlock here. If yes, then this, otherwise this here. If no, this one. Okay, you can change the action name, but for now I'm not doing anything. And which field you want to lock. Okay, female contains data, then customer name, I'm locking it. Okay, apply. You'll see how it will looks like. Otherwise, what I'm gonna do, show error message on customer name, provide the valid customer. Okay, these are the just simple two actions that I'm just showing you. But other than that, you have these also: add set field value, set default value, or set business required or not, and set visibility. Okay,
Jyoti,
visibility is nothing but show and hide. Yes.
we are able to see only the
Oh,
classic.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Thank you for informing. I think I have not shared my entire screen. Just give me a second. I'm really sorry. Um, just a second. I'm trying to see. Okay, here you're going to see, right? Just let me get this there. Thank you, whoever informed me. Okay, so this is the one I'm explaining. The other one is this one, form editor. Is this one. You able to see, right? Whatever I'm pasting here now. Can somebody confirm? You able to see the
Yes,
business rule?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
I'm able to see.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So what I'm saying here is just creating some functions for the business rule, so that I can show you how it will look like in JavaScript and in the business rule. Okay, just quickly I'll just create some email contents data, apply, then add, lock or unlock. Some field I'm going to just lock or unlock. What is that one? Customer name, I'm locking it. If no, then I'm just showing the error message on customer name. Select valid customer for the registration. Okay, apply. So here in the text view, you can see if email contains data, then lock customer name field, else show the error message against this customer name field, and the message is this. Okay, so this is the designer and this is the text view. You can see like whatever is present inside your boxes. Okay, let me just save it. I'm not going to explain you about the scope. I hope this already covered the scope of the business rule. And then I have saved it and I'm activating it. And for now, my scope is information, and I'm not going to change it also because I want to just check that only on the information only. And I'm activating because unless I don't activate it, it will not work. Okay, and now I'm going to this and I'm just saving it. Okay, I'll just create a new one to see. I'm not providing an email. Registration date. See, it's verified false preferred contact method email. Okay, save it. Select valid customer for the registration. You can see, right? Because email is not present here. And my condition is if email doesn't have value, show the error message. Otherwise, I'm adding my email now. test@gmail.com. And one more thing I want to explain here. So after clicking save only, it is showing the error message, right? So this is one thing, just remember. I can show you what we can do in JavaScript so that right away, like if we don't have email, then itself it will show us the error message. Okay, right now I have given the email and I'm saving it and it is a locked. You can see, right? I can't change this name anymore. Okay, so this is the simple one on the using the business rule. Okay, what if this customer name is a normal text field, right? For example, let's suppose say owner field is present here and this is a lookup and I want to fetch some value from the owner. Okay, maybe primary email of the owner or the first name or last name or anything. If I want to fetch value or some values from this lookup record, then my business rule will not work because all the options I have here is sorry. So we have to deactivate it to see the to edit the business rule, right? Okay, all the options I have only these only actions, and from here okay, from here also you can see it. Okay, so only these like setting the visibility, some fields we can mention. So from here I'll check. Okay, we can mention the whatever the fields that are present on this entity only. Okay, other entity, related entity data to fetch or doing something on that related entity is not possible through business rule. So that's when we are going for the JavaScript. Okay, so before going to the JavaScript, let me explain few things here. So as we are going to have our JavaScript functions on our form, so this is the form editor that you have to use for that action. Okay, so here right to the business rules, you can see the form properties. So just select it, and here you have the option to add form libraries and event handlers. So what
Not able to view once again, Jyoti.
just a second, I'll try to
I think you are sharing only your browser only. You need to share
browser
entire
only.
screen.
Yes, actually I hide that sorry, Zoom one, I'm not able to see that as well. Just a second. Here I don't have. Okay, let me share entire screen. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So what I was saying, so whenever you want to do form customizations using the JavaScript, then you have to use this form editor. And I think, let me open this again from where I have got this one. I think you already know, but let me explain again. So you just have to open the from the using the advanced settings, you'll have to go to the customer registration entity and then forms and then main form. I have opened it, and this is the form editor that got opened. And now whenever you want to work with JavaScript, then this is the option that you should select. Okay, what is the tooltip it's saying? Add scripts to form events. Okay, so first of all, first I'll explain what are all the things that are present in this form properties dialog box. Okay, first one is form libraries and the second one is event handlers. So what are form libraries? Okay, for example, I've been telling you that JavaScript functions, right? It can be multiple, so I can accommodate all of them inside a web resource. Okay, what is a web resource? Web resource of type anything. Let me first create one. Okay, and okay, here web resource. Okay, here it's like any kind of file that I mean, we have some file types here which are applicable in D365 CRM. So that files we can add into this web resource. Okay, and that file contains based on the extension type. For example, if my file is of type JavaScript, then it will be a .js file. So any file, and inside that file we can have a multiple functions in it. Okay, so the web resource will hold the multiple functions and nothing but one file of logic. Okay, so here choose file, and we have to choose it. Actually, before that, I can write some code, and first we'll see the file types. So these are all the types that we can add into the web resource. Okay, that can be JavaScript or CSS or this HTML, data, string, PNG, JPG, even the image files also we can use it. We can add into the web resource. I'll let you know where we will be using the images and all. But for now, mostly for the form customizations, we will use the JavaScript only type. Okay, file type JavaScript and name whatever the name you want to give. I'm just giving customer registration. Uh, events. Okay, and here we should have some. So, how many of you know the JavaScript coding?
We can manage, Jyoti. Can understand, we
Okay,
can.
I mean, I know. Like normal JS is different. So in D365, have anybody tried?
Oh, not yet right, but we know we are.
Okay, fine. So for now, I'm just adding few lines. So don't worry about this one. I'll let you know what are all, the things I'm writing here. But for now, I'm not explaining it here
Okay.
because we have to see. Uh, we'll have to see another things. Then only you'll get to know what I'm explaining here. Okay. For now, I'm just adding some lines of code so that I can just save my web resource. Okay, and always better to use the any code editors like Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code, because here it's like indentants and all will not come properly. So it's always better to use code editor. Okay, I'll let you know what I'm writing here, but for now ignore it. Hey. Okay, this is fine. I'm not doing anything here. I'm just saving it. Okay. So I have created one web resource and there I just have added one function. And I already mentioned like types of web resources of type like JavaScript, HTML or CSS or images, XML. Okay, so those are the types of web resources. And then comes the events. Okay, so once we create the web resource and that library, we can add it here. Okay, on the entity form level, then only we'll be able to use whatever the functions that are present in that web resource. Okay, let me add here. And what is the name I have given? Customer registration, right? Here you can see LUT customer registration events. I'm adding here. And now comes the event handlers. So what are the event handlers? Anything that is happening on the form, for example, here I'm saving the form, so that is one event, and I'm refreshing the form, so which means loading, the form is getting loaded once, so to see the recent changes on the form. Okay, that is load event, and this is save event. So whenever I'm saving my record, maybe do some validations or check some fields, and based on that just show hide some field values or just populate some field value or something like that. Okay, load event and save event. And also whenever I change something on the form, for example I am changing this number, then it should notify the owner because I have changed the owner phone number of this customer. Okay, that way. So these are all like events on a form. Okay, what are the events like load, unload, while form is getting loaded and while form is getting saved, and also anything on the form is getting changed. Okay, so these are the events that you can just remember for now in first day at least. Okay, you can see here as well. Event handlers and the control. What is the control and what is the event? So here the control means the form or the fields or the tabs. Okay, on form level, what we have discussed, load. So loading is on entire form, not on some specific fields, right? So that is a on load and that is on form. And then save is also for the entire form, not for a specific field. But when it comes to the change, it's not like the form, right? So we are changing some field value. For example, I have two functions on two fields. For example, if my phone number is getting changed, then do something to the owner field maybe. Otherwise, if my registration date is getting changed, then do something on my customer name. Okay, something like that. Okay, so what is the control here? The changing of the field, which field I'm changing it. Okay, so that is what here we have. Form, onload, and on save will be there. And for the on change, tabs I'll explain tomorrow, but for now we'll see the fields. Okay, whenever if I select a control as a customer name, then you can see the event as a on change, and onload and on save is not at all visible for this field level. Same with the tabs as well. Okay, tab state change. I'll explain tomorrow about the tab. Okay, so these are the event handlers. We have any questions till now? Okay. Mm, hmm. Okay. So for now, what I'm doing, I have not added anything inside my function for now. So first I'll just go with the onload event. And on onload event, whatever the logic you want to implement, that will be inside this library. You can open the library from here also. You don't have to go again to that solution and open that web resource from there itself. But you can just open here also. And you can see what is the function here. My function is on form load, and I did nothing here actually, but we can add a logic here. Okay, for now I'll just add my function here on load of the form. For example, I'm adding the library. We only have one library, so by default it actually took that only. But sometimes it will not automatically take the specific library, but you have to choose based on your requirement. Okay, here what is my function name? Sorry, let me just copy it from here. Okay, on form load, add, and this is my library and this is my function. And inside my library I can have multiple function, but onload which function has to trigger. Okay, that function only I'll be providing here. And you can see this tick box enabled or disabled, nothing but if I just uncheck this enabled box, then though this is registered on onload, but it will not impact anything on load of the form. Whatever the functionality is present inside this function, it will not impact. So if we want this to be on form, then we have to select this one. Okay, in some scenarios, maybe we don't want to remove this altogether from the event handlers, but for maybe some days or something like that, we don't want this functionality to be happen on load, then we can just disable it. Okay, I'm enabling it right now. And the next one is we have here under the parameter section, pass execution context as a first parameter. Okay, so you might have seen, sorry, I'm just closing it again from, okay, I'll just, okay, and fix it. Okay, you have seen, like while I'm writing the function, I have added the parameter inside this function is execution context. Okay, so I'm on the form, here I'm making the change, or here I'm refreshing the form. Okay, we are not calling that function from somewhere or something like that, right? We are not even uh, it's not even possible to provide the variables. So from where that variable is coming, just give me a second. Sorry, I'm back. Okay. What I was saying. So here I'm providing the variable, but while doing any event on the form, we are not even passing any variable. So from where it is getting passed and what it is, right? So this execution context is something which will have the details about the whatever the form that we are working on. Okay, so it will contains all the details about the event, also this form details. Okay, using that object, we will be getting the remaining values. For example, here you can see what I have wrote here. Form context equals to execution context dot get form context. Okay, this is common for all the functions. Like whenever I want to interact with the form, doing on load or on save or on change, if I want to get some field value, then the first line in the function is common, where form context equals to execution context dot get form context. Okay, this execution context holds the details of the entire event, and from that we are fetching the form context. So this form details we are getting from this execution context. Okay, and okay, this from where we are passing it, from here. If you can just open it, pass execution context as first parameter. Okay, we should select this one. It may be in some scenarios, if you don't want this, if you don't want to do any data manipulations, which means you're not doing anything with the fields that are present in the form or anything. Maybe you just want to show some alerts or something like that. In that scenario, if you don't want this execution context to pass, then you don't have to pass it. And here you don't have to pass a execution context. Sorry, here I'm just opening it. Pass execution context as first this you don't have to select it. Okay, but whenever you want to do data manipulations on the form, you should definitely select this one, because in the coding I am having this as a first parameter. Okay, I hope you understand about this execution context. Are we clear from where we are getting this execution context and all? Denki? Sorry. Any questions still now? Okay, I'm proceeding further. Okay, now I'm just going to make some change here. Okay, you know from where we are getting the execution context and what it is having. Okay, so this line is common for all the functions, where I'm getting the form context, nothing but the context of a form, where the all the details of the form will have. Okay, uh, and for now I'm not going to do any data manipulations, meaning I'm not changing anything, any field value or anything. I'm just showing some alert. Alert is nothing but a pop-up box which will come on top of the form. Okay, this is the syntax, I can say. Alert, and inside it whatever the string we provide, that will come up in the alert box. Or any sample we can add. Unload of customer registration. Okay, I'm just saving it. And before that, just give me a second. So whenever we are doing just give me a second. So whenever we are doing changes to the web resource, then we should publish it, then only the changes will reflect, right? So I'm just going to publish it. Here the change came. I'm just saving it and publish it. Okay. Mm. Yeah, sorry. Right. Okay, so whenever we are making changes to the form properties here, like adding the libraries or adding the event handlers, then we should save and publish the form as form editor as well. Then only changes will come. Okay, these are the mandatory steps. Whenever you are doing making changes to the web resource, then you have to publish the web resource. And here you when you are making changes to the form properties, here also you have to save and publish the form editor. Okay. Um, Now go back to the form and just hard refresh it, because we are doing on load of the form. Just refresh is a must for it. Okay, and you can see whenever a form is getting loaded, this alert is came on load of customer registration. So whatever we provide in the string of that alert syntax, so this will come on top of this browser, like this form. Okay, for now I have added that only. Okay, if I'm saving it or doing any making any changes and saving it, it will not come up. But if I just refresh the form, then this comes. Okay, I'm just showing you the alert to let you know that if you add any logic also inside that function, that also will trigger on refresh of the form only, like this, like as this alert is coming up, right? So that way, whatever the logic we add inside the function will execute when we load the form. Okay, I hope you understand this part. Okay, then maybe let me explain one more thing. Mm, okay, here what we have seen, just alert I have added. Let me show you like how we will be getting the field value, from where we are getting. So the form is here, so from where we are getting the data. Okay. Mm, Here, this one. And so I have already explained, right, what is this form context. It will hold the context of the entire form that we are working. Okay, from here, so this is a out of the box one only, from the Microsoft only, execution context dot get form context. When we call this function get form context, then the context of the form that we are working will come. Okay, and then after this, what I'm doing it, so here I want to fetch the email field value. Okay, email value. Okay, I'm storing in the email value variable, that whatever the email that is present on the customer registration form, I'm going to get fetch it here. Okay, so this form context holds the all the values present on the form, so I'm going to use that object only. Form context dot, what I'm going to fetch it, attribute. Okay, here whatever we have here, right, customer name, owner, email, so these are all the attributes only, right? So get attribute of the schema name we should mention, then only it will be able to fetch it properly. And the schema name I'll be getting from solution tables and customer registration colons and the email, LUIT email, the schema name is, right? I'm going to use it here. The schema name should be proper, then only I'll be able to fetch the correct value. Dot get value. Okay, what I have written here, I'm storing my email that is present on the customer registration form inside this variable email value, and how I'm fetching that from the form, that is using this form context object. Form context dot, I'm fetching the attribute value, so get attribute of with the schema LUIT email. Wherever we have the schema with the field with the schema, just get the value of that attribute. Okay, so let me add that value here. So inside the alert, I'm just adding this value, whatever I have fetched. Let me see. Okay, it got published. Let me see. No. We refresh it again. Script error is given. I might have given it from null reading get value. It is having value. Let me change the schema name maybe. That means it's saying it doesn't have value, but we already know it has value. I'm changing the schema name. We succeeded. Let me publish the form again. Sorry, what I was pushing. No, let from your dependent. Let me down the log file first. Eh, we don't have value. Let me get this. Listen. జర చదువుకోను hi, yeah. Okay, so whenever we want to check the logical names or actually this way, logical names, or if you want to see in a god mode, like wherever we have the logged field, right, to just unlock them. So this is the add-on that we have, but unfortunately that we can't use in incognito mode. Let me see what is going wrong here. Form context dot get attribute dot luid email dot get value. Form context equal to execution context dot get form context. Everything is correct. Hmm. Luid email only. It can. What went wrong? See, sometimes it will take time to just update the web resource in the browser, so it will just take some time. So for the first time, we have updated the wrong schema name. So first we have provided this LUIT capital email, but it was showing error. So the schema name, so this one we have to provide the logical name. Okay, when we have provided that one, now it is getting that value. While refreshing the form, on load of customer registration space should have given, but I have not given. Okay, whatever the email value that is present while loading the form, that it is fetching. That is test@gmail.com. Okay, so what is present while loading my form? That value it will fetch. Any doubts till now?
Hello.
No? Okay, yeah. Uh,
Huh.
huh.
I have a doubt.
Yeah, please go on.
Uh, what is the difference between schema name and logical?
Uh, I think while creating the field, I think whatever the display name we will be giving, that only it will just under with the publisher name, it will be coming. But why we have schema name and logical name, I'm not sure about this one. But whenever we want to fetch any field value, then we'll be using this logical name only. Hmm. So you can try, like, you can see my display name is email, and here schema name is LUIT email. But when we work with any coding, like if you want to fetch this value, this field value, then this logical name only we will use. Okay, that way you can just remember. Apart from that, we don't have any significance for the schema name or logical name. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions related to this form event handlers or form properties, web resource? Any questions? Okay, I hope you'll just check from your instance as well. So today what we have checked, like what is the business rules is doing and what we are having in JavaScript. So the comparison I have not completed yet, because first I'll be explaining what are all the things we can do in JavaScript. Then only I can tell you the differences so that you can relate it. So today I have explained you just one attribute, like using the onload, what is the onload event, and what is the alert, and how we will be fetching the attribute value. Okay, that is the one thing we have done, but the manipulation, data manipulation, we have not started yet. Meaning, like on load of the form, just to check the value of the customer name, on based on that change the email value, something like that. Manipulation, data manipulation. So that we have not started yet. Tomorrow we'll be checking that one along with the on save event as well. Okay, on save event, and what are the other data manipulations we can do on the form level. Okay, I hope I'm clear. Okay, and please try the assignments, and maybe beginning of the session or at the end of the session we can just go through the doubts, like if you guys have any questions. Okay, that way maybe we'll be able to provide more inputs to you. Okay. Yeah, any questions, anybody?